What up, YouTube? I'm back again with another video. If you're new to this page, damn, I always started like that. What up, YouTube? I'm back again with another video, but for today's video, I got a story to tell. So this story right here is going to be real entertaining and real juicy. But before we get into all that, make sure you like, subscribe, and also share the video. And if you want, feel free to leave a comment. But let's get into this story, right? So this story right here is basically about the time where my girlfriend left me because I pulled out my piece. And yes, I did that. I'm 100% guilty as charged, but you gotta hear me out though. So stay tuned to find out why. But let's get into the story. So basically, I think this story took place probably like right before the pandemic, if I'm not mistaken. This took place. Yeah, this story took place before the pandemic. Pandemic or pandemic, however you want to look at it, whatever it was for you. But anyway, so that's when the story took place, right? So at the time, me and my girlfriend, we was super close, super close. We was like Beavis and Butthead.
That was cool. Yeah.
You could just say that, or you could just say that we was just two butt cheeks. I was the left cheek and she was the right cheek. Or you could say that, I don't know, I ran out of other comparisons. But anyway, so we was like two butt cheeks, right? So with that being said, we was super close with each other. That's what I'm saying. In other words, we was like super close with each other. So I could do things around her and not feel embarrassed, and she could do things around me and not feel embarrassed. Like I could fart next to her and laugh about it, or not say nothing at all because I'm pretty sure she know I did it. Or she could fart next to me and I'll just be like, yo, ew, I'll say that, but she'll say the same thing back if I was to fart.
Go use the bathroom. And by the way, I farted.
Doing like little things like that, and that's how. So basically, that's how close he was. Close enough to where we could do things like that, and we wouldn't look at each other like, oh, this guy right here is bugging, or not guy, but yo, this person right here is bugging, or whatever the case may be, So anyway, with that being said, right, that's how comfortable we was with each other. So therefore, that's why I did what I. Anyway, but we're gonna get into that. So basically, this story took place like on a late night, if I'm not mistaken. It probably had to be like around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I think it was just me and her inside the house, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was just me and her inside the house, but we wasn't inside the living room. I think we was inside the bedroom or whatever. So we in the bedroom. She's on one side of the bed. I'm on the other side of the bed. At the time, I think I had on sweatpants. Now I think I had on shorts, because usually when I come to our house, I would change my outside clothes and put on like in-house clothes. So therefore, because usually, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but let me know if y'all do the same thing. I don't like to wear my outside clothes on the bed, if that makes sense. So anyway, I changed into my inside clothes. So I think I had on shorts or something like that. And at the time, I think she had on pajamas or something. Yeah, she had on these pajamas. It was like my favorite pajamas that she would wear. It was pink, and it was like, yeah. Anyway, she had on these pajamas, and it was tight pajamas, if I'm not mistaken. Was it tight? Nah, I think it was loose. But anyway, yeah. Long story short, she definitely looked good in it. She was looking real thick in it. All that other good stuff. So I'm just there, like, I like this type of stuff. I get used to this. But anyway. So she wearing her pajamas and I'm wearing my shorts. So I'm like, yo, let's play a card game or whatever. Let's do something, because we just sitting there on our phones. We're not doing nothing. So I'm like, yo, let's do something. We wasn't even talking. It's so funny. It was just mad quiet in there. She doing her own thing. I'm doing my own thing. We on two opposite sides of the bed. So I'm like, all right, bet. Let's play this card game. Now, mind you, I just taught her how to play this game probably like a couple days ago. So, she was new to the game. And for the people that don't know, it's this game called Crazy Eights, right? It's kind of similar to Uno, if you ask me. It's really like Uno, but it's just a different version of Uno with a whole different set of cards or whatever. I mean, you can't do the same thing. I mean, nah, it's not like Uno all the way. Yeah, because you can't reverse things if I'm not. Nah, you could reverse. Anyway, long story short.
You have your proof of insurance?
What?
Proof of insurance.
Yeah, let's play. I'm bugging, right? I'm like, yo, let's play Crazy Eights. And like I said, I just taught her how to play the game. So, she's kind of new to it. So she's like, all right, we could go play, but just go get the cards, because I don't feel like getting up to get the cards. And I'm like, I don't feel like getting up to get the cards either. You go get it. So I ain't gonna front. We went back and forth for a good 2 minutes almost. Who gonna get the cards? But eventually, I was the one that ended up getting it. So I walked to, I think the cards was in the living room, if I'm not mistaken. It was a brand new set of cards too. So I walk to the living room. I go get the cards, right? So I'm coming back inside the room now. I got the deck of cards in my hand. So I'm like, all right, here, boom. I throw it on the bed, like, here. I'm ready. I throw it on the bed, like, boom. I'm bugging. I throw it on the bed, and I'm like, all right, here's the cards. We could play now. So I forgot that she don't even know how to shuffle. So I'm like, oh, I gotta pick it up anyway. So I go get the deck of cards, and I'm shuffling up the cards. You know, I'm shuffling. And for this game right here, you gotta hand out 8 cards. Everybody get 8 cards. So it's only just me and her playing. So whoever hands out the cards, they go last, or whatever the case may be. So with that being said, I was the dealer, so I ended up going last. So we playing the game, you know, it's just me and her inside the room. The room is a little chilly, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to paint a picture for y'all so y'all can kind of like see the environment that we in. And we still on like 2 opposite sides of the bed, and the cards is being played like in the center of the bed. So she's on her side, I'm on my side. And I noticed that she's kind of like trying to peek at my cards a little bit, because at first I wasn't sitting correctly to where she can't see my cards. So I was kind of like on an angle, and I noticed like she kind of like looking at my cards, but I was kind of trying to like look at her cards too. But anyway, she's sitting there with her legs folded. You know, her legs was looking really nice to me at the time. But anyway, she's sitting there with her legs folded, and I'm sitting there just like, you know, sitting up, I guess. And we playing the game. So we playing the game, right? And I don't know if I told y'all this yet, but I'm super competitive. Just want to say that now. So therefore, while we playing the game, I'm like, yo, in my head, I'm like, yo, let's spice this game up a little bit. I feel like, you know, we too chill right now. Let's spice this game up. So in my head, I'm like, all right, so in order for me to spice up this game, I gotta talk. Like, I gotta talk trash, and maybe she'll talk some trash too. But she's not that type of person though. Like, I would talk trash, but she wouldn't do the same thing. That's not her style. You could pretty much say that. But like, she'll do it, but she wouldn't do it like how I would do it, you know? So with that being said, I'm like, yo, so let me talk trash. So now I start talking trash, right? And now she's like trying to ignore me. She's not paying me no mind, but I know she probably didn't really want to play the game with me anyway, because when I be playing games, I always, you know, be talking a whole bunch of stuff and things like that. So anyway, I'm like, all right, so I'm there, I'm talking trash or whatever. I'm doing little things to trying to like get her mad. So every time I win, I kind of rub it in her face a little bit, like ha 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 ha, you know, little childish stuff like that. And you know, as time's going by, I'm noticing she's starting to get even more, you know, upset. You know, like she's not really playing no more. Like it kind of like her whole demeanor kind of changed. And I'm looking at her like, I don't care. You know, we playing the game. What you expect? You know, but she's slowly like building up to that point to where she's like, you know, this nigga right here is doing too much. But anyway, me being me, I'm paying no mind to it. I'm looking over it. You know, because like I said, me and her like super comfortable with each other, and I'm familiar with her enough to know that she's upset. But even though I knew that she was upset, I was still kind of like, I don't care. I'm gonna keep poking at it. I don't know. I got this thing, man. I just be doing that. It's like a bad habit. Like it really is a bad habit. But anyway, back to the story. I think I probably beat her. Probably like we was playing this game for a minute though. Like we was playing this game for a minute. I probably beat her like 5 times back to back, if I'm not mistaken. Back to back, I beat her, right? Now, at this point, I'm like, yo, you know, she's not paying me no mind, and I'm like, I'm trying to get her attention so she could say something, make the game more entertaining, but she's really not saying nothing. Like, and I noticed that she's mad, but I'm like, yo, say something, you know, make it fun that I'm beating you.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Anyway, so she's not saying nothing really, you know, she's starting to like, you know, slowly get aggravated. She trying to tell me to shut up. I'm talking too much, I'm doing too much. I'm just like, I don't care. It's a game, like I said. But so now I run out of things to do. I completely did. So I'm like, yo, I don't know what else to do. You know, she's really paying me no mind. Sometimes she's really good at ignoring me when I start doing things like that. You know, so I tilt my hat to her on that. But anyway, she started ignoring me. And I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm going to get your attention, right? So now I'm like, yo, I get this thought in my head. I'm like, yo, maybe I should I should just whip it out on her, you know? Just whip it out on her, and that would make her feel better, you know? I figured that would really make her feel better.
That's true.
I figured she like it. So anyway, I'm like, yeah, that'll make her feel better. But in my head, that's what I'm thinking. Now, at the time, me thinking now, I'm like, yeah, that probably would help because she is a little upset right now. So if I do that, she'll probably laugh at it. That's my logic of looking at it. And then I'm like, on top of that, it is funny. So anyway, I go, right? I go stand up and I just decide to just, boom, I whip it out.
Surprise, motherfucker.
It's so funny because when I whipped it out, I was just waving it in her face. It was literally like a flag, or I don't even know what to. It was literally going like this. You feel me? It was just like in her face, like boom. You see it? What's up? Like what we doing? Now I'm playing. It was like waving it in her face. Yo, as soon as I did that, it's like she went from 0 to 100 real. What is it? Really quick. Whatever Drake song is, whatever the case may be, she definitely went 0 to 100. Now, as soon as I did that, she took the deck of cards and she just, boom, threw it at me, right?
Got him! Got him!
Over there, I'm like, yo, what's up with you? Like, she threw the deck of cards at me, and when she did that, I'm like, yo, like, what's wrong with her? Like, something must not be right inside of her head. That's what I'm thinking. So she had got up, like I said, she got up and she threw the deck of cards at me. Now, I ain't gonna front when she did that to me. It was sexy to me. I ain't gonna lie, like that stuff. I was like, look at her. Acting like that, I'm looking at her like, look at her, she acting all crazy and stuff like that. Go ahead, you look good anyway, so you could do that. You get the pass for that. So yeah, she threw the cards at me, and as she got up and threw the cards at me, like I said, she had these pajamas on that I really like that she wears. So,
Yeah, baby.
yeah. So she had those on, and then she had like this spaghetti strap shirt on, or t-shirt, or I don't even know what it's called, tank top. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just looking at everything just moving and stuff like that. So I kind of wasn't really paying attention to what she was saying. But anyway, I'm like, yeah, to me at the time, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of sexy. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm trying not to show that, I kind of like smiled and laughed at it, like, I see you. But anyway, she's really serious and she threw the cards at me. And she telling me, she cursing at me like, yo, what the fuck? Why did you do that for? That's not funny. You think everything's a joke, this, that, and the third. And it's kind of...
That kind of hurted me, though. Because it's like, why would you think that of me? Like, you should already know me. Like, I ain't going for that.
Most of the times I do be joking a lot. Like, honestly, I'm the true definition of playing too much. If playing too much was a person, it would have to be me. But anyway, I was definitely playing around way too much. So she telling me all that, you play too much, it's not no joke, this, that, and the third. Then she want to tell me to go pick up the cards or whatever. So I'm looking at her like she crazy. How you just throw the cards at me? And then you telling me to pick it up. But in the back of my mind, I'm still like, damn, that's really sexy of her. Like, she's really taking control. But anyway, she said all that and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, like, I'm trying to tell her pretty much to relax. It's just a game. We playing the game. It's not that serious. But it's so funny because at the time, she threw the cards at me. I still got my thing out and I'm in my hand. And it's still kind of like, everything kind of caught me off guard. It's kind of like, it's kind of like me and my thing, we looking at her like she bugging, but in all reality we was the ones that was bugging. But anyway, she do that, right? So now it's to the point where she trying to find other items to throw at me, and I'm looking at her like, yo, like, I really don't know what to say at this point, if I'm being honest with you. It was one of those things to where I was kind of like stuck just a little bit on what to say and how to go about it, because I really honestly thought that she would like it. I'm thinking, yo, it's not your first time seeing it. And I kind of told her that. I'm like, yo, it's not your first time seeing it. What's the big deal?
Move this man!
I was trying to figure out, is it because I just pulled it out unexpectedly, or is it because I pulled it out because she was losing? That's what I was thinking in my head. But anyway, back to the story. So with me pulling it out or whatever, she's still going off at me. So at this point, I'm like, yo, I'm out. I'm just going to leave. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type of person where sometimes, like, if me and her get into it, I just walk away. Nah, I'm lying. Nah, it depends. Sometimes I walk away, and sometimes I kind of, like, poke at it, too, because, I don't know, sometimes when she get mad, it's really attractive to me. I don't know why sometimes, but anyway, I just be wanting to see how she feel, So, yeah, I guess I'm the definition of toxic also. But anyway, so, at this point, I'm like, yo, I'm out. You feel me? I'm going to get up out of here. Because, I feel like you are going to the extreme at this point, Anyway, I was copping the plea. Put it like that. I was just like, yo, I want no smoke with her because at this point, she's really on a different level with it and she's really trying to come at me over the card game. So anyway, I leave the house, right? So I called my mans or whatever, and I think at the time he was probably living in Atlanta. I'm not too sure. So I called him. I'm like, yo, tell me how my girl just left me. He like, okay, what happened? You know, because every now and then I be chatting sometimes, you feel me? So he's like, all right, you know, what happened this time? So I'm like, I pulled my piece out on her, and she left. Like, I'm not left, but I pulled my piece out and she got mad. As soon as I told him that, he just busted out laughing. He like, yo, why'd you just pull your piece out? I'm like, yo, we playing a game and I figured it would be funny. When I said that, he just busted out laughing like, yo, this guy is really crazy. But it's so funny because he's like, yo, that sounds like something you would do with your girl anyway. And that's what I'm like, yo, you right. I feel like, why is she so surprised? It's like, she know me. Like, don't she know me, who I am? And like, sometimes I just don't be caring. So he was basically just laughing at the whole situation. And he was like, man, you be doing too much or whatever the case may be. Nah, he didn't say that. I think he said something else or whatever he be saying. But he said something that was funny. So we just laughing. So I'm like, yo, I'm going to just hit you back or whatever, right? So now I'm walking down the block and she had called me. Now, when she calls me, she's still going at me. She's just not letting up. So I didn't hang up on her or nothing like that. I just kind of like let her talk. You know, sometimes I feel like that's the best thing to do with somebody. Just let them talk because, you know, eventually they'll get over it. So I'm letting her talk, but at the same time, I'm kind of still saying like my little pieces here and there. And basically, she ended up breaking up with me that night, right? And anyway, it wasn't even like that late at night, but she ended up breaking up with me. But I ended up calling her again. I'm telling her like, yo, relax, you know, you my baby, all that other. Not even you my baby. I ain't gonna front. I be telling her you my dog, because that's like my way of me showing my love. Like, I don't be saying all that, oh, baby this or baby that. Nah. I be like, yo, you know you my dog, all that other stuff. You feel me? Like, you know, you my, like, I don't even know how to explain it. That's just how I be like communicating with her to let her know. Like, I don't be saying it like how other people may say it, even though, you know, some people may be like, why you saying my dog for? But anyway, that's how I express how I feel. But she pretty much understands me and know how I come off and things like that, right? So that's what I'm telling her, you know. So eventually, long story short, I ended up getting through to her. And now we just on the phone, we chilling. Like, before the night was over, we was on the phone again and we was laughing and playing around like nothing ever happened. But, you know, she did take it to the extreme to where it was like, I mean, to me, she did, but yeah, so that's basically it for that story, man. So she ended up breaking up with me that night. But before the night was over, we actually ended up getting back together. And fast forward to now, we sit here and we laugh about it and joke about it. So it's kind of like, you know, things happen. And that's basically it for the story time, man. So whenever you're going through something with whoever you messing with or whatever the case may be, you be all right. As long as it's nothing serious. But don't do what I do, you know, because some things that I do, it makes no sense. I don't know why I do it anyway, because I be thinking everything's a joke, clearly. I guess I'm just immature. That's the sad truth, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, though, that's basically it for the story time. Now that I think back on the story, it really is entertaining and funny to me. Like, she really went to another level. But while she was doing all that, though, I'm looking at her and I'm like, yo, you just look so good to me, though. So it's kind of like, it was attractive to me at the same time. Like, yo, do what you got to do. You feel me? Like, I be thinking I could cure everything because I be thinking, like, you know. But anyway, that's basically it for the story time. So, if you made it this far in the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and also leave a comment down below and let me know how y'all feel. Or better yet, tell me any crazy story where you did something like that and, you know, or if you didn't do something like that. Whatever story you got, let me know down below and I'll be sure to respond to it. But I'm going to see y'all again in another clip. Peace. I'm going to catch y'all, man. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. So I'm going to see y'all next time.